Cool. Yeah, I'm actually starting to get the feels a little bit. This is turning into a bit of a banger, if I do say so myself. So ultimately, where we end up is here.
I am Billy Kimber.
We're going to start with the drums. I go through sort of how to make the sub, all of these little mid-bass growly effects, all the glitches, vocals, impacts, intro. It's all covered in this video. So you want to stick around to the end because I heard that's how you keep retention up, by promising something that's going to happen at the end. So yeah, basically help out my retention by not skipping. Without further ado, let's jump into the making of this phenomenal track. Should probably save it. Right, so let's listen for a few of these packs. Right, so now I have all of this arranged and it is looking real groovy. So I'm just going to start by creating the simple pattern over however much of this is. 4 bars, maybe? I'm not very good at counting. And then I'm just going to basically audition the sounds together. So it's going to be boom, boom. The snares are a little bit different because they're going to kind of layer on top of one another, but we just need to make sure that they're each adding something and not detracting. So basically just going to copy one load here. I'm going to copy that to there and then there. Going to try out a load of these. Just going to start carving out some of the harsher frequencies. So usually about anything below 200. I'm going to glue these guys together a little bit. What I'm also going to do is just give it a bit of saturation, and I'm going to use warm-up highs. Just to give it even more top end, I'm going to use a little bit of erosion, and you basically go on wide noise like this, and you just open it way up and put it kind of to the top, and then you just play around with the amount. That sounded pretty nice. And then what we've also got are these like hats as well. I immediately think that this middle one is going to be the right one, but I don't want to assume these things. So all I'm going to do to begin with is just create like a really simple pattern like this. Oh, maybe I was wrong. Yeah, so I'm going to give it like a little bit more groove. Get rid of this. The way that we're going to do that is going to now delete these out because we've like auditioned them. We are going to basically just bring the gain right down, so it's going to give it a bit more bounce. You hear that? Hear that already? All right, we need to sort this kick out a little bit. Things that we're going to want on here are some saturators, a bit warmer. See how that sounds. Going to roll it off, maybe like 50. Maybe I'm just going to shorten it. Yeah, maybe we just want like a little sort of punchier kick. Cool. And then we've also got like this sort of shaky shuffler boy. I'm gonna make it smaller. If you're wondering, you hold down shift. Like that. Yeah, so, and again, we just want to kind of carve out some of these frequencies that aren't doing it. And this is just in the background. You don't really hear it that much. But what we are going to do is we're going to put on a compressor, and then we're going to give it even more groove with sidechain and then the kick, and then we're going to bring that down. If you make it really extreme. Yeah, nice. And now let's put in some of these little shuffles. So, I mean, it's just this. This is what you want. And the way I like to do it is, I don't know how they made this original one. So there could be like very slight differences between each of these. Maybe they've sampled it from like an old school break or something like that. But we want those because there might be little variations, and that's how you make your music sound better, basically. Pro tip. So now it's just... So we want it to go do that, ba da da da, do ba da da, like that. Still a bit weak, so we need to beef it out a little bit in the back end. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a little sizzle group, which is basically a return track. I'm going to call this Sizzly Boy. Now, I've already created a sizzle group. I've been through this in another video, which is linked somewhere around here, and just gives you a bit more in the back end. I need to stop laughing at jokes like that. So Sizzly Boy, and then this is B, yeah, so it's going to be this one. What we're going to do is we're going to turn it all the way up just so that you guys can hear it. Ooh, that's some like old school raviness. But we don't obviously want all of that, we just want a bit. And what we might also do is take the kick out of it. So we're going to call this the tops group like this, and then we're going to turn that off there and we're going to put it on here instead, because we don't want the kick to have all that horrible reverb. So it's just, you can hear it's like fattening it out a little bit. Now what we are going to do is we're just going to put on the drum group, we're going to put an EQ on there, and they're also going to put a glue compressor on there as well, just to glue it together. Probably just going to shave it anything over 50, like that. And we're going to bring the threshold down just a little bit, and we're going to turn the makeup gain up. I think this snare's a bit long. Yeah, that I just know that's going to sound better. And what we're going to, on the first snare, we're just going to have it a little bit longer. So there's, again, just tiny amounts of variation. And this mid snare, I'm actually going to boost a few of the mid frequencies. I want to kind of go for the mid bassy elements first. And then to do so, I've gone through this in a previous video. I'm going to use, is it the mid bass rack? So I'm just going to put in a note, and then we're going to start modulating various frequencies. Pretty like random adjustments to this, and then we can kind of play around with it accordingly. Every time I get something that I like, I'm then going to copy it across and then try something new. Does that sound like a boom, kind of like break? We're going to fatten it up later with thermal as well, but we just want to get stuff that sounds cool in here. What I'm going to create as well is this is going to be like our mid-bass audio, so that we can keep going ahead and making sure it sounds good. So we're going to have this record in from the mid-bass 1. And we can use these at our convenience. Maybe what we can do is something to do with the transpose. Yeah, let's shut the transpose in here as well. So let's see how it sounds. It just went up. No, I don't like that as much, but it sounded pretty good. Maybe if it just went down like 12. Maybe we want this bit to be like higher. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Right, we're going to, again, just record this in so that we've got it saved. And basically, this is what I do for most of the time that I'm making music, is I just record loads of random stuff that I can cut up and make it sound better, and then eventually it takes shape. So you just need to click some buttons. Let's just see how it sounds with the actual beat. And maybe these two should come back. I sort of want that one to be longer. But what I want this note to be longer, like that. I'm going to bring these over here and have this maybe just so long that we're going to shave it off, basically. Cool. And I think that almost wants to go over here. So let's remind ourselves. I don't really like that beginning part. Maybe if it had like a drop, had like a stutter. Yeah, so does that make up the whole phrase? It does. Look at that. So it's very, very simple what we're doing here. And now we're going to beef this sound up. So I want to put on, I first of all want to cut out the low end, because, or maybe do I actually want to cut out the low end? Because it does actually have a bit of sub in there. Oh, what if it was like a something like that? Moving very quickly, but I'm liking this. So there is a really nice sub sine bass here, and it's got this nice drop. You know what I mean? That just sounds lovely. So what if that was just like the A note, And then this needs to have some of the high end cut out now because we have like a proper sub. I want these to be like a lot fatter as well. So what we're going to do that is we're going to add a load of effects to it. So multi-band dynamics, for example, just to increase like the lows. Probably some saturators, a bit warmer would sound nice. So it's just louder basically without peaking. We probably also want just a bit of compression in there as well. And now let's try putting on some thermal. Right, so now what we want to do is we want to create some sub bass. So I'm going to use an analog BD sine, and then I'm going to go for this shape here because it adds like nice frequencies when we want to FM from B. Then we want to FM from B like that. I'm going to modulate the because I think that's going to sound cool. I'm going to turn down oscillator B, put this on maybe like an 8th note. Yeah, nice. Maybe a bit of noise on there as well because we're gonna bring that out with some distortion. So if you drive that up. Cool. All right. And then what we want to do is we want to FM from B ever so slightly. And then what we want is basically the same on here, but it's going to be a lot slower. Now we can actually turn this one down. I've reduced the wet position to halfway because it was a bit crazy. And then I've changed up the distortion slightly, added a compressor and a little bit of reverb just to give it a little bit of space at the top. So I like there kind of being like a little hop, skip and jump there. I also want to sidechain it a little bit. What we probably want is some little bass effects, like just little like pops. I'm gonna do this and then one there, just so that we've got some bits for the middle. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. And these are going to be like really subtle. So they're just going to be like these tiny, tiny little pops that go between these phrases. So maybe like one here and then one like sort of there. Cool. And I also want some other metallic-y sort of sounds just to fill some of these gaps. For this one, I want it to have really slow sort of like ping pong delay either side because we have all like this crazy aggressive fast stuff at the top and we want to almost like counteract that in a roundabout way. So I'm going to have this on like 6 and 3 and ping pong. What if it was higher? Try and put it up 12. All right, that sounds a bit weird. Maybe they both need to be on like 3. Yeah. That together is going to sound really nice with this. Yeah, I think maybe this could go, make a new channel for it. Maybe this could go, not there, but maybe like here. And we'll give this, we'll actually use a dual reverb on this, just so that we've still got the original like hard hit, but then it's got a bucket load of reverb at the end. To make it sound less messy, what you do is you put in a compressor after the reverb, and then you basically just sidechain it to the kick. It sounds really, really good in like techno and psytrance and genres like that. All right, starting to take shape, which obviously I love. Quite like that as like a little connector maybe throughout the song, like that. Chuck some reverb on here as well. Delay that's in time with the rest. I want some like kind of nice vocal in here as well. I did download this cool thing the other day. I am Billy Kimber. I run the races. I think that would sound cool.
I am Billy Kimber. I run the races, and you fixed one of them, so I'm going to have you shot against the clock.
We're going to get rid of all this shit, whatever this is over here. We want to copy all of this across. Then we want this last one to be different. I don't know what that is, but we're going to copy that across as well. And then that's going to be I and Billy Kimber. And that one's going to get deleted. And then we have a slightly different phrase. Right, I've decided that I'm going to edit these pretty heavily because I don't think it adds too much to the sort of minimal feeling. So I'm going to start by just doing stuff like this because they're just a bit aggressive. That's the issue. And despite my love of Peaky Blinders, you don't want it to be that aggressive. Yeah, that one can get turned off. We have all of these kind of glitchy things that are going on. So it's a little bit samey. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one track where it's all slightly different. Nice. Let's put all of these in. And we're just going to have this as like one chain with things like reverb and you know the drill by this point. I'm going to use the dual reverb and I'm also going to try a hybrid reverb with space. Endless Arctic. That sounds pretty short. Oh, that could be like a nice intro. Yeah, I really like that as the intro. So I'm going to turn that off and call this intro. Yeah, so I want this one to have some echo on there as well. We're going to put an echo, but we're just going to keep putting it on this wet channel. No, actually, we're just going to put it on the dry. Bit less. Just group these and just shave off the low end. Anything sort of below about 200. And I'm actually going to glue these together as well, just a bit. I think, yeah, some bongos in there as well would be cool. I'm going to see like, maybe in like genres. Yeah, maybe like some just cool sounding. I want them to be quite high pitched though. Yeah, sort of like the middle of that. And maybe the beginning of that as well. So we're going to put this in the hops group. And we just got to, we want to find areas where these little kind of fills are going to fit in nicely. Yeah, so like, I think here would sound good. Actually, no, we want it to be like that. And then this is going to be half. Oops, half, like that. That sounds pretty good. And where did I say I wanted to go? Yeah, like at the, just this end phrase. Yeah, so we also want one here as well. That sounds pretty good. Bit loud, and turn it down. Oh yeah, that does actually sound really good. But I want it to also pan right to left and have it pan in like maybe like eighth notes, no, quarter notes. And I want to cut out a bit of that low end as well. Give it a bit of saturation as well, a bit warmer. And also cut out all the super low end as well on like 35. Cool. All right, so that is starting to sound good. Now, one thing that I do really want to do is put together an intro. This basically just sounds like an intro already. Put that as what I mean. I think that sounds really cool already. So I'm just going to record basically the whole glitchy group into its own channel, and then I'm going to basically just see how it sounds. It might sound bad. It might sound good. Cool. So I'm going to duplicate this, put that on there, see how it sounds. Like it. I mean, that sounds really good. Needs a bit of high end in there. Cut out some of the low end as well. Give it a bit more high with some multi-band dynamics. And then we're going to take some elements from the kit, from the drums. Just going to take this one nice hat. And then we're going to take the drums. We're basically going to low cut or high cut. One of the cuts we're going to do. So in this bit, we're going to leave blank because we're still going to have this. And then these reverbs need to really chill out by a lot, actually. I'm going to turn it all the way down like that.
Have you shot against the post?
And then on this drum group, we want to cut out the lows, auto filter. I'm going to show the automation on this and then just have it so it turns off on the drop like that. I want like a nice doo-doo-doo sort of bass. It's like a really sort of like low rumble in the background.
You said you wanted men called Shelby. You got 3 of them.
Yeah, I think that'll sound cool. Building up to the final. I am Billy Kimber. I ran the races. Oh, excellent typing. Like you can't make that up.
I run the races. And you fixed one of them, so I'm going to have you shot against the post.
Oh yeah, so I've just thought in this B section, what we want here is we just want a nice sort of ride cymbal. That one's nice. So the way that I like to do my rides is I like to group 2 together, and then that one goes here. And this one's going to be quieter, and that one's going to be a bit louder, like that. And then what that means you can do is when you then duplicate them across, you've got that sort of nice bounce that we've all come to know and love through listening to Isaac Simpson YT.
Right, in the parlour.
A bit of reverb on there to glue it together. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut out all the low end.
Right, in the
So
parlour.
subtle. Wow. There's a sound in this beginning bit that I don't actually like, and I think it's this one. I think it doesn't need to go there yet, so that one can get turned off. Right, end of parlay. Yeah, so here, you don't actually want this in there, so I'm going to click Control-I, and I always get this wrong. So I'm going to go for 8, because I think it might be 8. Oh my god, it worked. All of this is going to get copied across, and then this bit is going to get turned off.
But then you fucked me over. So now you have my undivided attention.
These are all audio pop. I want them to be a bit more pronounced. I'm going to chuck on my Fat Rack. Oh, it's called Fat React. Never noticed that before. What did I think we had to do? Yeah, that was it. So on the intro group, I think this can basically begin to get phased out because we've already got these elements here, which is basically just a duplication of this. And also this is detracting, I think, a little bit from the drop. So I'm just going to bring it down like that. And then also do the same for this one.
Are these poor old Garrison Lane widows? That's your level. I am Billy Kimber.
So I actually think that might do us for now. Maybe have a fiddle around with it, maybe do a B section. But let's just listen to where it stands as of right now.
Right, I never heard of you. And then I did hear of you, some little diddy koi racer gang. I thought to myself, so what? But then you fucked me over. So now you have my undivided attention.
Which one am I talking to? Which one of you is the boss?
I'm Mr. Kimber's advisor and accountant.
And I'm the fucking boss, okay? Right, end of parley. You fixed the race without my permission. You fucking gypsy scum. What, live off the war pensions? Are these poor old Garrison Lane widows? That's your level. I am Billy Kimber. Right, end of
and the greatest YouTube channel of all time. Potentially. Cool. So if you haven't already, make sure that you do like, comment, and subscribe. I think we're on something like 1,400 subscribers at the moment, which is kind of crazy. I started this channel a while ago, just doing dumb remixes, and then yeah, it's just crazy that so many of you actually enjoy this content. So if you are subscribed, I do appreciate you. If you're not subscribed, well, you know what I mean. Buttons down there. If there are specific videos that you want me to make, again, do just let me know in the comments below. A lot of you have also sent me your tunes on SoundCloud. So if you've got tunes that you want me to listen to or whatever, ping them over. I always love hearing what you guys are making, especially when you use these teachings. So apart from that, I think that's it for today. So cheers.